Good morning, everyone. It's January 10th, 2020. I'm Eric. Have you ever heard of zipper killing? It's a thing. You might recall, if you've been a subscriber for any length of time, a video I did about how soldiers would intentionally aim in such a way that it would split the head open. Over there in the Middle East. Well, it seems that America's police forces have, for quite some time now, been using a similar tactic, only they call it zipper killing. And, well, I'm gonna play you a short video clip of an officer being instructed on how to do this and get into the article here at Blacklisted News regarding this topic. So let's get started. All right, here we go.
Good afternoon, this is Sid with T1G. Today we're going to go over the non-standard response, or the zipper drill. Non-standard response drill, we use it because it is more like real life. In real life, how many times are you going to shoot a bad guy until it goes away? So with a non-standard response drill, we're actually going to do that. We're going to shoot this target as many times as we need. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start in the pelvic girdle, meaning we're going to start low on the target, and we're going to draw a line, keep working the trigger as we're moving the gun up and finishing with the front sight on the face or in the brain housing group of the target with well-aimed brain shots there. It could be 5 shots, it could be 6 shots, it could be 7 shots, whatever it takes to drive the gun up the center line of the body all the way to the head. With a non-standard response, or the zipper drill, that's what we're trying to do, is we're drawing a zipper on the target all the way up to the head. All right. Rob, do you understand the drill that we're going to do?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So a non-standard response, or a zipper drill, shooter ready, stand by.
You might recall some years back, the DHS, Homeland Security, started using targets of senior citizens, pregnant women, children, and other armed individuals. You remember that? Of course you do. How can you forget? Well, here we are at Blacklisted News. Zipper killing Americans, a police tactic of killing people in a hail of gunfire. Isn't that nice? And this is out of Mass Private Eye, which is I believe, the website that we were just at. Yes. And the reason I switched is because the print on this one is bigger. Excuse me. Have you ever tried to get someone's attention because they forgot to pull up their fly? Perhaps you have tried to use hand signals or made eye contact with them in a discreet attempt to get them to zip up their fly. Well, America's police have figured out a way to make sure a person will never forget to pull up their zipper. As the video explained, police are being taught to start shooting a suspect low in the pelvic girdle and work their way up to the face or on the brain housing group, like a zipper. The instructor's use of words, pelvic girdle and brain housing, are designed to make it easier for cops to justify using their weapons like a zipper on human beings. Police zippering citizens in the brain housing gives new meaning to an old Korean War term, zipperheads, that was used to describe American troops running over Asians with a jeep. And they're kind of assholes for that, don't you think? I mean, I understand that they were an enemy. I get it. However, they could have been given the dignity of a fucking bullet. They're not that expensive. This past December, the appeal revealed that in California, the Vallejo Police Department's officers have been zipper killing people for a decade. And I would probably say they've been doing it longer than that. But maybe not. Maybe that's a fairly recent method used by police. In quotes, the newly released records also show that Vallejo police supervisors who reviewed fatal and non-fatal shootings for potential policy violations and training purposes praised officers for using a zipper drill method of firing. An officer using this method fires numerous rounds into an adversary, starting low in the target's body and zipping up the barrel of the gun toward the person's head while continuously shooting. In what version of America is this not horrifying? Pre 9/11 or post 9/11? And why have only 3 police zipper killings been criticized? Cops are praised for zipper killing Americans. According to the appeal, police supervisors have only criticized 3 officers for not zipper killing suspects. In quotes, from 2010 through 2018, only 3 officers' firearms tactics were criticized by supervisors. One of the officers was criticized for not using a method taught by the department that involves firing more shots at a murder suspect. And they say murder suspect in that instance. However, keep in mind that many of these people weren't really suspected of, many people killed by the police aren't really suspected of anything. Another shot at a suspect while police and passing motorists were in his line of fire. The third shot a rifle over the heads of other officers to kill an unarmed man. Now, if he were only firing over the heads of, us lowly citizens, it would have been okay. Being criticized for not shooting a suspect numerous times, what has happened to American policing? Let me tell you, people like to pretend that this use of deadly force is a new thing. But if you go back to the Old West, there were many instances of this same type of behavior. Fast forward to the 1920s, these labor disputes that were going on all the way through to today. They were being used to brutalize the citizens. Them along with the National Guard. Think Ludlow Massacre. All right. Supervisors commended commended a police officer for continually firing at an unarmed suspect until he collapsed from being zippered to death. This is, the land of the free. This is the nation that supposedly has compassionate Christian values. In quotes, Sergeant Joe Cano, who reviewed Kenny's shooting of Barrett, determined that Kenny was entirely within department policy when he killed the unarmed man. So, it's within department policy to kill unarmed people. O'Connell wrote that Kenney used a pattern of fire consistent with how the department trains its officers to shoot. But what about the unarmed part? He did not simply use 2 rounds and reevaluate as was taught in the past. O'Connell wrote instead, Kenney continuously fired into the unarmed man's legs, arms, and body until he collapsed and stopped moving. Another supervisor wants the FBI to teach every police officer to zipper kill Americans. Sergeant Kent Tribble wrote in a report about the incident that the department's firearms instructors should step away from the outdated FBI failure drill, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, and instead have firearms instructors all teach the more industry standard zipper drill. Why isn't this headline news? Have police killings of Americans become so commonplace that zipper killings are viewed with indifference by the mass media? For anyone out there who still clings to the idea that America's police are not militarized, please try to explain why cops have been zipper killing Americans for 10 years. And again, I covered some months back soldiers over in the Middle East shooting in such a way that splits the victim's head open, spilling their brains out. And now these same types of tactics, or not now, and now we discover these same battlefield tactics are being used by police across this country. You know, these people are at war with us, with you, with me. And in my humble opinion, it's about fucking time we started acting like it. I hope everyone has a great day, and until next time, kill the state before the state kills you.